This video is considered how to never negotiate on your future, right? And without further ado, let's look at that word negotiate, right? I like to always start off with the definition because it adds context to what we're talking about. Now, in this lesson, the word negotiate means to settle or arrange by discussion or mutual agreement, right? To arrange or settle by discussion or mutual agreement. Now, when you hear that word settle, it means to reduce or to relegate something, right? So if you had an expected outcome and then you settled for a lesser outcome, that would be in essence a negotiation. What we don't want you to do is to ever negotiate on your goals, your dreams, or your future, right? So let's look at a few ways that we can help you never to negotiate on your future. Now, one of the things that you can do to never negotiate on your future, right, is to make good choices. Hang tight. All right? One on our list, right, is to make good choices. All right? To make good choices. Now, we can never understate the importance of making good choices. Why? Because the choices we make end up making us. Hello. The choices that we make end up making us. So it's very important for you to make good choices so that that good behavior can create a compound effect in your life, right? The second thing that we have to do in order to never negotiate on our future is to choose good people and to choose good friends, okay? Right? To choose good people, P-O-P-L-E, right? To choose good people who ultimately become your friends. Now, you may have people that you work with, people that you go to school with, people that you hang with after work or after school. Now, initially, you don't start out being friends with these people because you have to develop a trust. But the more you hang out with people, the more you develop a rapport and a trusting factor with these people. And it's very important for you to choose the right people for you to hang out with because those people end up rubbing off on you the same way that you end up rubbing off on them, right? The third thing that we can do in order to help ourselves to never negotiate on our future is to begin to use our ability for good works, okay? We all have ability, right? Okay, to use our ability for good works. Now, us as human beings, we can do some magnificent things, right? We all know that we have 5 senses, okay? Some of us have a 6th sense, where you can use your intelligence and your intellect and your intuition to now create scenario and broader perspective for you to use to your advantage, right? Using your ability for good works means to always be conscious about doing the right thing when you have the opportunity to. Always be conscious about making good decisions, surrounding yourself with the right people, and now allowing your ability to be magnified by those previous 2 components for the greater good of the environment and for the group, right? Now, what else we can continue to do in order to never negotiate on our future is to set clear goals and set a clear direction for manhood, okay? Now, this is very important, right? Because this channel is geared for men, helping men to now develop leadership and empowerment in themselves so that you can be a better version of yourself for your family and for your future. Now, the first thing that you should do when it's time for you to set direction for manhood and set direction in your life is you got to spend some time with the higher power. You got to spend some time with the Lord, okay? Now, by no means am I saying that this is number 4 in priority. This just happened to be number 4 in the order that we write in these steps, okay? You got to take some time to sit with God, okay? Now, why do you need to sit with God? You need to sit with God and pray so that you can hear what he has to say to you, right? We are all a piece of him. Your spirit belongs ultimately to the higher power who gave you a piece of the spirit, which in turn activates the body to even be alive. So now that we know this, it's only right that we sit and pray and talk to the Lord so that he can give us instructions as to what he expects of us. Okay, after we sit and pray to the Lord and get our instructions, now we have to sit with ourselves. Okay, now some people would say, how do you separate yourself from God? Or some people would say, how do you sit with yourself and actually find peace and solace in that? I'm about to explain it to you, okay? Sit with yourself after you sit with the Lord. Now, this is important. Why? Because now once you pray, it's time for you to meditate. You meditate within yourself. You meditate by yourself. You meditate in a quiet space so that your subconscious and your mind can now reveal to you a perspective that may not have been there beforehand. This is very important, right? When your mind gives you instructions, when your mind gives you answers, when your mind gives you perspective, a lot of times we don't take that advice. You know, some circumstances that you've experienced, you could have avoided if only you listened to that little voice in your mind, right? That was your subconscious telling you the right choice, giving you the proper instruction. So it's important that after you pray and talk to the Lord, you give yourself that opportunity to now digest and process what's been given to you, because we are like a receiver. So when you receive the word and when you receive instruction, now you have to process that into how to use your body and use your ability for the greater good of what those instructions are supposed to produce, right? Now, one of the key components to manhood is this, right? We've all heard that it's a difference between males and men. It is, right? Male is the species, okay? The heterosexual male is a species, right? So because you start off as a male, it does not mean that you develop into a man. You should develop into a man, but everyone doesn't have that luxury. Why? Because every man has a mission, but the mission is not in every man. Hello. You have to accept your mission in order for the mission to actually be in you. So a male absent of his mission can never become a man. Don't ever forget that. A male absent of his mission can never become a man. The only way you become a man is when, as a male, you accept your mission, and now your mission becomes manhood. Your mission becomes the development of you in manhood. This is how it goes, right? So now once you accept your mission in manhood, you got to focus on Psalms 90:10, okay? I always go back to Psalms 90:10. Why? Look it up in scripture. This is not Jabbar making this up. Psalms 90:10 says, man is appointed 70 years, 80 if he's strong. Why? Because it gives us an overview as to the expected minimum amount of time that we should survive or that we should develop into the fullness of what we are here to do. Now, some of us would get less time. Some of us would get more time based on the decisions that we make prerequisitely up until that time. Now, wherever you are in your walk, whatever season you are in manhood, you know you would take 70 and you would put your age down. You would deduct your age currently from the number 70, and you see how many years on estimation. Nobody knows. Don't take my word for it. Don't take what I say as ironclad truth, although I know it is because I read it. You read it for yourself and you interpret it for yourself. Man is appointed 70 years, 80 if he's strong. You take these other 5 prerequisite steps, concluding on step number 6, and you use these things to now develop a framework around how to never negotiate on your future. Now, if you guys want more information, text this number that's scrolling at the bottom of the screen, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Hello.